now you've got me. I can see him standing there, but I can't put handle to him. Now, whatever were his name?
It's on the tip of me tongue.
Aye, mine too.
And that's all that will be on the tip of your tongue tonight. You know, it's way past closing time.
Is that a fact,
You wouldn't be hinting, would you, Annie?
I don't hint. If I have anything to say, I say it right out. And what I'm about to say...
Get out of it.
Well, I wouldn't put it quite like that.
Well, that's what you mean, more or less, isn't it?
Well, really. Don't any of you do any work?
Ah, it's Saturday tomorrow, love. Saturday, the bestest day of the week is that, you know. Now, lying in bed in the morning, cup of tea in bed and all, if Nellie and me are still talking. Fish and chips for dinner, football match in the afternoon, and a nice long session at the Rovers at night. What more could a lad wish for?
Oh, well, see the gentleman to the door, will you, Jack? Have a lock-up after
Go
them.
on, lads.
Good night, then. And don't you be long. I'll put the kettle on.
Right after you. Night, night, Harry.
Bill Dodds.
That's right, Bill Dodds. Why did nothing of it? Good night, lads.
Doesn't time fly, love? It'll soon be Christmas, won't it?
Oh, my uncle will be pleased.
Oh, why is that?
Well, he plays Father Christmas every year at a big store in Dublin.
Oh, how very nice. Is he fond of children?
No, to be perfectly honest with you, it frightens them to death, particularly when he's had a bucket full the night before.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, he has one big bus stop on New Year's Eve on the proceeds, and then that's his lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, I finished the glasses, Miss Walker.
Right-o, love. Well, you run along. Get to see you out.
Okay.
Stick and sceptre out, will you, love?
Oh, right, come on, lads.
All right, your coat all
Thanks
right.
again
And
for
thank
coming
you
along.
very much,
Oh, it's a
love,
pleasure.
for coming to help us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, love.
Oh, well, that seems to be that.
I really am tired. I think I'll go straight to bed.
Oh, I think I'll join you and all.
Top up the stove, will you, love?
Oh, I'll do it now before I forget.
And, Jack, love, do be careful to close the back porch door. I opened it after tea to let some air in. Get some Coke in, love. Oh, and mind you clear the milk bottles, honey. I was falling over them all night. Oh, I really am tired.
I thought you had gone to bed.
No, I was just having another look at these pictures.
Oh? As a matter of fact, I had another letter from Bob this morning.
Oh, he doesn't waste much time, does he?
He says there's only chops going at the factory he works at. Good chops.
He seems very keen for you to go.
He's only being kind. He says I could start as soon as we get there.
Oh, we haven't decided we're going yet, have we?
Well, I thought you would think about it.
Yeah, well, I've thought about it. And I don't think I want to go.
Not ever?
I don't know. Don't rush me. Oh, yeah, and while we're on the subject, I don't want you to say anything to me, Mum, about this. Not even that we're thinking of it.
You don't want her to know, then?
No, I don't.
Think she wouldn't like it?
Well, no, she wouldn't.
Well, if we decide to go, we shall have to tell her then.
Oh, well, we'll decide that when we come to it, if it ever does come.
I don't agree with you, but if that's what you want. Linda, think of the chances. You should hear what they say at the immigration office.
What immigration office?
Well, I took some time off and called there for information,
Oh,
you know,
you
forms
did,
and things.
did you?
Well, look, I'll show you.
Well, you might have asked me first.
It's just to give us an idea, you see. First, we have to apply for assisted passage loan with that form. Then we all have a medical examination. This is this form. Why did you do that?
I come into this too, you know, and I haven't said I'm going yet.
You don't have to tear up the form.
Oh, now you've woken up Paul. Well, you can go and put him to sleep because I've had just about as much as I can stand tonight.
Jack?
Yes, love?
Have you been using my curlers?
Hey?
Well, I can't, you seem to me to have been. I can't count. There's not enough of them here. There's some missing.
What
I
in
know.
heaven's name would I want with your curlers, eh?
I really don't know. Well, I'll tell you, there's 3 missing for a start.
Oh, 3 curlers. Why, I remember now. I used them to fasten down that latch on the back gate.
Well, really, you might have used something else.
Hey, I was short of wire at time, lass. And you know them little bits of wire, you see, they come in very useful.
I see. Got a hole in your sock.
Hey, it's no, lass.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I only put them on this morning. Hey, you do like to make work for yourself, don't
Well,
you?
no, that it wasn't me that made the hole in the sock, was it? Oh, while you've got it off, love, I'll have a look at that corn you were complaining about.
Hey, it's no, lass.
Ah, well, then you shouldn't have made such a fuss about it. Come on, now, put your foot on the bed.
Yeah. Who? Go easy now.
Sorry,
Go easy.
love. Oh, yes, it is quite bad. Not enough to excuse all the fuss you've been making, still. You better see Mr. Gilchrist in the morning.
Well, I'm not going to see that old fussbot. You can say what you like.
Ah, well, fussbot he may be, but when it comes to feet, I always say there's no one to touch him for miles, and that's an understatement. I'll ring him up first thing in the morning and make an appointment with him. If you think I want to pick your corn off the bedroom carpet, you're very much mistaken. Remember what happened last time?
Eh, with no lass.
Well, you shouldn't have done so much complaining then. Lovey, will you pass me my hand cream?
Eh, dear. There you are.
Thank you. Cream on a burgundy background. That was it.
Eh?
Some paper I saw at the tailor's. I was just wondering how it would look in the select. Oh, Jack, love. I'm
What is it
awfully
now?
sorry. I've forgotten to take my sleeping tablets. Would you mind, love? They're in the top drawer.
Well, it'll not hurt you to miss them for once.
Well, now, I promise you, neither of us will get a wink of sleep if you don't get me them. Sorry, love. And the liquid paraffin, love, that's there as well.
Turning yourself into a blooming jug addict, that's
Thank
what
you,
you're
Jack.
doing.
Oh, Jack, love.
Oh, what is it now?
Well, if you're going to have a nice read, would you mind passing me my net of musket? It's over there, love. Thank you very much.
There you are.
You? Jack,
What?
isn't it lovely to relax in bed after a heavy day?
Ah,
Get him off.
Put a little heat on. It's cold in there.
It'll be colder still in Canada.
It's a different kind of cold.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one kind of cold, and that's cold.
They mostly have central heating, you know.
I know, and cars and fridges and all that jazz.
You wouldn't like them?
Who wouldn't? Still, you might get a better job here in time.
Maybe.
Well, it's possible.
Oh, really, Linda? What have I got but my hands? I have no chance for education. I want that chance for my boy. No, better not talk about it anymore.
Ivan,
Hmm?
you're set on going to Canada, aren't you?
Without my wife and child?
I didn't think you'd desert us, you daft thing.
I just can't see any future here. Not for us. There's no room, too many people, too little space. I can see us old already in this street. We've only got one life, Linda, and I want to make something of it. It may be always the same for me. But for Paul, it could be different.
And if it isn't, I suppose it's my fault.
I didn't say that.
No, but you meant it.
Well, look, I understand how it is with you. But for me, it's different. I don't belong to anybody like you do. All I have to leave is you and Paul.
Oh?
Everything.
Ivan,
Hmm?
Ivan, am I awful to live with?
Terrible.
No, I mean it.
Sometimes you're a little difficult.
Yeah, I know. I don't suppose anybody else would put up with me but you.
Nobody will have to. If you stay, I stay.
So it's up to me then, isn't it?
Now look, I think it's better we don't talk about it anymore.
Ivan,
Hmm?
I want to go with you, even if it is to Canada.
Do you really mean that, Linda?
I've just said it, haven't I?
Ah, and tomorrow you change your mind.
No, I won't.
Linda, I promise you won't regret it. I promise you. Everything will be different.
On one condition.
Anything.
That you stop chunnering about it at least until tomorrow morning.
You are sweet.
No, I'm not. I'm a nagging old misery. Still, I'm glad you think so.
Darling?
What's the mother's having? That's all right to stop. Ivan. Do love me.
Rupert!
Rupert! Rupert!
I might have known it was you creeping about down here.
Of course, it's me. Who do you think it were?
Oh, I suppose you come down to look at your flaming monkey.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit worried about him.
Oh, well,
you see.
very touching.
Yeah, his name happens to be Rupert.
Well, I'll apologise to him in the morning.
If he's still here.
What do you mean?
Well, I can't find him.
Well, I thought you said you'd put him to bed in the coal house.
Yeah, well, as a matter
I
of fact...
thought you said you'd put him to bed in the coal house.
Oh, well, it's cold out there.
All right, come on out with it. Where have you put him?
Well, I made him up a bed in here.
Oh, lovely. I suppose you tucked him in and kissed him good night. No.
Well, Mr. Phillips says he's a very valuable animal. I'd like...
Do you know that scullery window's wide open?
Hey, it can't be. It was closed when I left him.
Well, fancy letting him out on a night like this. It's cold enough to freeze the... Go and fetch him back.
Well, I don't know where he is.
Wake up.
Hey, what is it?
Wake up.
What is it, Annie?
Just a minute. I'm putting the light on.
Hey, Annie, hey, get back off to sleep.
I heard something.
Hey.
There's someone in the bar.
Hey?
What's more, he's having a drink, bless him. Yeah, what did I tell you? Wasn't I right?
I'm going to be aware and all.
Oh, dear, whatever shall we do?
Well, I suppose I'd better get up.
Oh, I don't think you ought to do that.
Well, we can't just sit here, can we?
I suppose not. Isn't it aggravating?
It's blooming cold.
Grumbling about the coldest time like this. Whatever can it be, Jack?
Well, happen it's just the wind, love.
Well, there isn't any wind.
I know, but you don't have to remind me.
I say, Jack, love, hadn't you better take a walking stick or something?
Oh, something's right. We haven't even got an umbrella up here. Here, this'll have to do.
Make it one.
Well, it's this a note.
Dear, it is aggravating.
You
It's
can
upsetting.
say that again. Well, I'm off down now.
Hey, Jack, love,
Yeah?
Jack, here. If there is anyone there, promise me you'll offer absolutely no resistance.
Well, if you feel that way about it, I needn't bother going down at all. Now, you stop worrying. It'll be note at all. You see if it isn't. Oh, my flaming corn. Oh, good. Hey, somebody's been having a smashing time. Well, I'll be hanged. Hey, Annie, come down here, quick.
What is it, Jack?
Come here, there's a monkey in snug.
Oh, yes, of course. I suppose there's an elephant in the select, isn't there? I wish you'd stop playing silly jokes and come to bed.
And see whose chair it's sitting in and all.
Where is he? Your friend, I mean.
He's locked away in Courthill, if it's Rupert you're talking about.
Rupert. Are you sure he's locked away?
Of course, I'm sure.
Well, where did you find him?
I didn't, he just turned up.
Oh, it just goes to show he knows who his friends are.
What do you mean by that?
I'll leave you to work that one out. Goodness only knows what damage he might have caused. Might have terrorised the whole street.
Oh, dry up, he's as tame as a puppy. And he was only out half an hour, so he couldn't have done any damage.
Now, let me see. That's half a dozen wine glasses at 2 and 9pence each, 4 half-pint tankards at 2 shillings. Goodness knows I managed to break those.
How did you know it was an E?
I beg your pardon?
I said, how did you know it was an E?
Oh, judging from his behaviour, I should think it was perfectly obvious. How many half-pint glasses did you say?
Well, there was a tray full. You can put down 30 at least.
30 at 2 shillings. That's over £4 altogether. What I want to know is who's going to pay for all this?
Well, we can't ask the monkey. He's gone. He was off like greased lightning when I went for him.
Yes, and it would never have happened if you hadn't left that back porch door open. He could never have got in.
Now, how were I to know it was open?
Now, it's no use taking that attitude, Jack. I distinctly remember telling you to close that door before I went to bed. Suppose it's no use asking where it came from.
Well, I suppose the zoo's as good a bet as any.
Well, if you think that, Jack Walker, ring up the manager of the zoo straight away. Might have been a tiger.
Oh, it might have been, but it weren't. And as far as the damage goes, I think we'd better see the insurance first.
Can you imagine Mr. Johnson's face when we suggest what it's caused it?
Oh, Ivan Chevesky, you're tickling me.
It's nice, though.
Well, if this is what comes from lying in bed on a Saturday morning, you've had it from now on. Anyway, your breakfast's ready.
Happy?
Oh, so-so.
Hey, come here.
Oh, Ivan, stop it before I change my mind.
You haven't?
No.
No regrets? I see you have been reading about Canada.
I thought it better under the circs.
All right,
Oh, I don't suppose we'd ever have a house like that, no matter how we ended up.
Well, maybe not. But Paul might one day.
Hello, Ivan. Hello, Princess. How's the little Viscount Chevesky this morning, then?
Well, if Earth makes as much noise as ours, she's in for a right do. Oh, you're a noisy lot in your house, huh? Hey, I made that toast for Ivan.
It's all right. That's plenty for me.
What do you mean we're a noisy lot?
Well, last night there was doors slamming and people shouting all over the place.
Yeah, well, I had a friend to stay, see.
That Jed Stone, I suppose.
Well, no, not exactly, but they have a lot in common, mind. This one we call Rupert. I'm not going to ask him again, either. Me and my man didn't exactly get on together. There's this tip passage, Lone. What's this?
Oh, I knew we shouldn't have left them papers lying around. Now, one word to me mum about this, Dennis Tanner, and I'll pulverise you, understand?
You don't mean to tell me you're off to Canada?
No, of course we're not.
No good, Linda. Dennis knows now.
All right, but one word to her about this and you'll regret the day you was born.
You're not going without telling her.
Of course we're
Really,
not, you
Dennis?
daft thing. But when the time comes, I'm going to be the one to decide when. It'll be bad enough having to tell her anyway.
Of course, Annie were petrified. Mind, I couldn't help laughing at her expression.
Now, don't you believe a word he says. Though I must say, he went out with my petit point hairbrush like a true knight in arms.
Good for Jack.
Aye, watch your pockets.
Oh, morning, Mr. Swinley.
Well, very good morning to you, Mr. Walker. Mrs. Walker.
How do you do? What can we do for you?
Well, I'm on my usual errand at this time of the year, you know, collecting for the children's party at the mission, Christmas party. You may think I'm a little early, but I think you'll agree that over-enthusiasm in such a cause can be forgiven.
Ah, it's a very good cause, Mr. Swinley.
Oh, it's very nice of you to say so,
They
sir.
are.
Thank you, Miss...
Mrs.
Hewitt, of course, yes. I must say this is one of the more pleasant of my little tasks, if you know what I mean.
Mr. Swinley, I wonder if I might have a word
Oh,
with
yes,
you.
of course.
Well, the fact is, we shall shortly be requiring new curtains for this place. We're really going to extensively renovate the place. In fact, I think you won't know it by the time we're finished with it.
Really? Well, that's very interesting. If I can help you in any way, Mrs. Walker?
Well, I was wondering if you could let me have one or two samples. You see, I was thinking of something rather rich, say, burgundy or claret.
Burgundy or claret, yes.
Or a rainforest green.
Rainforest green.
And then when I was at Torquay last summer, I saw some heavenly brocade. It was a sort of very rich hot chocolate.
Rich hot chocolate. Well, I'll be only too happy to assist you in any way I can, Mrs. Walker. As you know, I'm not a regular visitor within these walls, but your endeavours have my sympathy. I'm returning to the shop almost immediately. How would it be if I sent Miss Nugent along with a few samples?
That would be very nice. I knew I could
Yes.
rely on you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. May I go into the snug with my
Of
box?
course, yes.
There he goes. The mystery of the mission hall.
Well, you can say what you like, but I found Mr. Swindler very obliging.
Can I use your phone, please, Mrs. Walker? It's very urgent.
Yes, of course, Liv, if it's really
Well,
urgent.
thanks very much, thank you.
He looked a bit flustered, didn't
Oh, he's
he?
having trouble at home with a monkey.
Oh, dear, I shouldn't have said that. Come in, Mrs. Caldwell.
I think you'd better have a word with Dennis Tanner. Something needs clearing up.
Ah, you're right there.
There you are now. There's your change.
Oh, thank you very much,
Oh,
dear.
did you hear about the monkey?
I beg your pardon.
The monkey. We had a monkey in here last night after closing time. Mrs. Walker heard noises, so Mr. Walker had to come down. It broke ever such a lot of glasses.
Oh, dear, some people are inconsiderate, aren't they? Did you say a monkey?
Yes. Oh, not one of the regular ones, you know. One from outside. Mr. Walker found it sitting in that chair there.
Oh, dear, Ina won't like
Thank you,
that.
Mrs. Walker.
Martha, did you hear about the monkey?
Eh?
Sitting in Ina's chair last night.
Are you all right, Minnie Caldwell?
Yes, of course I am.
Well, you don't sound it to me. The only person sitting in Ina's chair last night was Ina herself, as well you know. And if this is your idea of a joke, I should advise you to forget all about it.
But I'm only saying what I was told.
Oh, that's your trouble, Minnie Caldwell. You're always too willing to believe everything everyone tells you.
Children's party, very idea. What are you two up to?
Well, go on. Aren't you going to tell her what you've just told me?
Oh, I don't like, not after what you said.
What's all this about?
Go on, you'll have to tell her now, you know.
Oh, I do wish they hadn't told me. Told you what? About someone sitting in your chair?
Well, it wasn't exactly someone, now was it?
Well, go on, what was it? Stack of potatoes?
A monkey, Ina.
It's that slate again. I told you it was going deeper. She's raving.
Well, I hope you understand.
I
Mr.
understand,
Walker.
yes.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry yourself anymore, lad. Forget all about it.
Right, ta-ra then, ta-ra.
Well, I hope that's all settled.
Well, it weren't exactly the lad's fault. He were lumbered with his friend.
Oh, you mean the monkey?
No, I don't mean the monkey. I mean this chap who asked him to put it up for the night.
I get you.
However, I told him we'd wait and see what we heard from the insurance first.
Mrs. Walker's been showing me your plans.
Oh, them.
And what do you mean, oh, them? And have you and I spent a great deal of time and trouble on those?
Well, how are you going to get all that round there? What about the snug?
Well, that's very simple. The snug won't be there.
Eh?
Hey?
No, all this is just going to disappear. We plan to turn the whole place into a very nice cocktail
Hey,
bar.
hang on a minute, Annie. It's all in the air at the present moment, is
Aye,
this?
it may be all in the air as far as you're concerned, but the minute we get the go-ahead from the brewery, we've got to be ready to move. One milk stout, please, if it's not too much trouble. Serve Mrs.
And
Sharples,
there's
please,
somebody over
Jack.
there that's got to be ready to move and all.
Well, that might be an advantage as well.
If you ask me, there's nothing wrong with this pub that a good coat of paint wouldn't cure.
Well, if everybody thought like you, Mr. Fairclough, there wouldn't be much progress made now, would
It's
there?
pints I'm interested in, not progress.
Well, I agree with Mrs. Walker. I think it'll look very nice.
Good. Well, another thing I thought of, love, was concealed lighting and little tub chairs. You know them. I saw them at the Brewers' exhibition. They were in a sort of model layout. Oh, they were very attractive.
Because I've heard it said that people who put concealed lighting in pubs do it so the customers can't see what they're drinking.
We have nothing to hide at the Rover's return, Mr. Fairclough, and you know that very well.
Now, you two. Still, fair's fair, Annie. I can see what Len's getting at. It's no joke trying to get double top, you know, in concealed lighting. And another thing, I don't see how Ian Sharples is going to screw herself into a tub chair either.
I see. The whole place has got to be arranged around Mrs. Sharples, has it?
Here, here.
I never said that.
Hey, hello, what's going on here?
These two gentlemen don't seem to agree with our progressive ideas.
Oh, well, in that case, we must try and reach a compromise, eh?
Well, I don't believe in compromise. Compromise is the enemy of progress.
Who was it said that?
I did.
Oh.
Mr. Swindley
Hello,
asked me to
Mr.
call
Egan.
in with these,
Oh.
Mrs. Walker. We haven't got them all in stock, but we can get them at very short notice.
Yes.
Progressive curtaining, eh?
I don't see any burgundy, Miss Nugent.
No, but there's some very nice maroons. Mr. Swindley has this one in his lounge. You can see it when you pass by the house.
I suppose if Mr. Swindley's got it, then it must be progressive.
Miss Nugent, I wonder, would you mind bringing these right through, and then we can look at them undisturbed?
That was very naughty, Len.
Oh, gum, you put your foot in it now and no, mister.
I don't care, Jack. It's us who has to do the supping in this place, you know. And I'll tell you something, no. If she gets her way over this, there's one bloke who isn't going to be coming into this pub after this. And that's me. And I'm not kidding either.
Oh, go on with you, lad. It may never happen.